Now we're going to talk about the Acolyte episodes 4 and 5. I think we can get through episode 4 pretty fast because like nothing happened in episode 4.
Nothing.
I mean, I'll say this.
They walked through a forest.
Yeah, so basically, like we get OSHA saying like her sister isn't her problem anymore, which doesn't make any sense to me. Because you finding out your long dead sister is alive, you don't care. Like what? Yeah, and then you have some journeys through the forest with the Jedi, and then also with May and Kamir.
And not to mention that Soul, OSHA.
Oh, my bad. Go on.
Soul, OSHA, Jackie, Yord, all fly back to Coruscant from the same planet that May and Kamir were at. And
I don't think they were on that planet, were they?
No, yeah. They knew where they were heading.
Right. And so they were like, no, we got to make a pit stop because the council wants to speak to us.
Exactly. Right. Yes, they were on the same planet because they just had the fight from after killing the other master.
I know, but
Tommen from Game of Thrones.
I guess we never saw them leaving a spaceship, so I guess you're thinking they're on the same planet. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
But we knew that they left and we knew where they were headed because they were going towards Kelnaka because they teased that, right?
Yeah, but they called it Kofar, like the forest of I don't know. But yeah, go on. Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
They went back to Coruscant to another entirely different planet.
Yeah.
And while May and Kamir were going straight on their way to Kofar. And they had to have this whole conversation with Vanessa where she completely then was like, you know what? We can't talk about this, even though I told you guys we had to talk about this. How about you guys go take care of it on your own?
Well, I also what I hate about that council room meeting is that like she's so distrustful of Soul. And I'm like,
it gives her so much trust to go out on this mission.
Right. Yeah. It's just, I don't know. Vanessa's really like all over the place and pissing me off this season.
All of these characters are.
You also get Kiadi-Mundi like really barely doing anything in this episode. And then my note
I don't really is that really an issue? You know?
No. Well, so my thing is like, where the hell is Yoda? Like, why is he not in these discussions?
Well,
like,
because he would be a part of the High Council, which if they talk to them about it, that's what Vanessa was saying. Is if they talk to them about it, they would have to talk to their other, like they'd have to get brought up.
Okay.
You know.
Okay. So I thought it was just that like I thought they were referring to like the Senate and that they wouldn't tell the Senate, right? But I guess if it's sure.
No, if it was like a small council of Jedi who are meeting in the basement.
Okay.
Doesn't have to get brought up to the leaders. They're not complicit in anything. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay. Yeah.
But they go.
That's fine.
They go to Coruscant and then they come back and then they do this whole walk through the forest and they show up 30 seconds after May.
Yeah.
No, that's not.
It's bad. It's pretty bad. And I don't know. The bugs are like whatever. Basil's kind of cool. Like I like his design.
I'm not gonna lie. Like at first when they introduced him, I was like, this stupid fucking joke that they're trying to do right now. But then Basil kind of grows on you, right?
Yeah, Basil's cool. He doesn't really have any lines, but he's a vibe, you know.
I like Basil. I'm not gonna lie. I like Basil.
Yeah, I did too. But I think we both hated the fact that Kelnaka just was dead when they showed up.
They teased a Wookiee fight for 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Now, at first I was like, oh, that's kind of shocking. And then I was kind of pissed off afterwards.
I'm pissed, yeah.
But because you teased the Wookiee fight for 3 episodes. And then you didn't give us one.
Well, also in trailers and like, I don't know, man. We had this Wookiee presence.
Exactly. We've never seen
at all.
You introduced the idea of a Wookiee Jedi. And then you never show it. Yeah. Except him, like you never see him in action. That's so lame. That is so lame.
Yeah.
And not to mention the fact that May, unprompted, out of nowhere, does a complete 180 with Kamir. And he's like, you know what? This changes everything. I'm going to turn myself in. I'm going to go to the Jedi, turn myself in. And then when she eventually starts to get arrested by Jackie, she fights her. And
that pissed me off so bad. Like why? So there was like times in that fight where like she had the upper hand on Jackie, and she could have been like, wait, I don't want to kill you. I want to help you take down my old master, right? And she doesn't say a thing, and she actively has a blade at one point to Jackie, and she's like she's actively trying to kill Jackie, and I'm like, what is this writing right now? It makes no sense. And there are times later on in the episode where she like she saw Soul and Jackie fighting Kamir, and
which,
she
by the way, are you fucking kidding me?
Oh, that is, well, yeah, I'll get to that. But like she saw them fighting like a 2v1, and she has force abilities, right? And she did not once, like she ran every single time. And I'm like, you could be rid of your problem and then say to the Jedi, oh, I just helped you kill my master. Like maybe this will get me some favors. But like she just totally abandoned her 180 that she did in the previous episode. It was like,
so she made a 360.
She really did make a 360, dude. Like it was wild. And
did a great, really quick job of cutting her hair very effectively with
it was super effective. It was like an exact cut, but you know,
like, oh my God, okay.
She's maybe a lightsaber barber, you know?
Maybe you should go to like beauty school, because Jesus Christ, you're doing a better job at that than you are at being a fucking character.
Yeah, for sure. Both Osha and May are like not good characters to me at this point. But the highlight of this episode obviously was the action, right? I mean, like, Kamir versus all of those Jedi. I mean, you had some really clean action. I mean, you had like him blocking like lightsaber, strikes with his helmet, and then like, and with his brace, and like the helmet and brace like rendered them useless for like a period of time, which was super interesting.
Yeah, that is, from what I learned, is a type of metal from the Legends side, the stuff that turned out to be like Legends in lore, that they've now brought into canon. So it's like a type of metal that when a lightsaber hits it, it will short out for a short period of time. It's
pretty cool, honestly.
It is cool.
Like and his moves were really cool.
You know why it's cool? Because it's brought in by something that was cool.
What do you mean?
It was something that was made, like it was a part of something else
right,
that brought it in.
Sure.
That was a thing.
Yeah. But yeah, like one of his other moves that he did. Sorry, what was that?
Nothing.
Okay. But his other move that he did was like he stabbed a Jedi, pulled the other one in, and then decapitated both of them. Like even though you didn't get to see that on screen, like that's some really great action.
Or the kebab.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, he stabbed one, pulled the other in, and then that was the kebab, and then he decapitates after.
Oh, did he? Oh, I didn't know if that was part of it. Okay.
But then you have like some really great fights. I mean, Soul versus Kamir isn't amazing. It's like it's well done. But Jackie versus Kamir is like, God, holy shit. Like that is some of the best shit I've seen in years for Star Wars action. Yeah.
That one and her with May is very good. Like Daphne Keen's action is incredible.
But it doesn't make sense to me, which is why I'm like, whatever.
I know, right? But she like everything that Jackie was doing, like she was like, you are under arrest.
Yeah, dude.
Like everything
Jackie was
like,
great.
I was like, fucking go, Jackie, fucking go.
Dude. Also, I don't know if you noticed, but like Jackie and Soul did the same like leg sweep move in the same episode. Like she did it to May, and then he did it to Kamir. And I was like, that is like beautiful visual storytelling, because like that's his apprentice, you know, like he's gonna teach her all his moves. But yeah, and then like when Soul joined the Jackie versus
Jackie is Soul's apprentice.
That's what I said. But I didn't say Yord.
Oh. Wait, who did? Oh, sorry. Who did the leg?
Jackie is Soul's apprentice, and like Soul did the leg sweep to Kamir.
Oh. Sorry.
You're good. And so like and then you had Soul join the fight like with Jackie and Kamir at the end, and like that was really good 2v1 action. And then the most shocking parts of this episode were, and I was really happy with it, but it was kind of heartbreaking, was seeing Kamir just 3-piece Jackie, and she instantly falls, and you're like, Oh wow, they're actually killing off characters. That's cool.
Yes, it is cool.
But it's heartbreaking that it's Jackie, right?
Yes.
And I was even kind of heartbroken, like the next death that comes, which is Yord. Even though I've never really liked Yord, he was a good guy. You know, like I didn't want him to die, and he just the combo that Kamir does on him is crazy. Like the break arm and then twist him around and then snap the. I was like, yo, like you are on a different level right now.
Yeah. I mean, thing about that sucks about Yord is like it really doesn't feel like there is much to his character after like seeing that he like just dies in this episode. And like I was kind of annoyed that like he kept like having his lightsaber on after he knows that these bugs are like attracted to light and he's been told it, but yet he continues to keep it on. Whatever.
Right.
But and I'll say, as much as I am shocked that there are screenwriters who were like, okay, everybody's like, we all thought it was going to be Kamir because it just seems so obvious that.
Yeah, that was the only theory we all had, was that it was Kamir.
For 4 weeks. 4 weeks.
Yeah.
We were like, no, it can't be. It's just too obvious. It has to be one of the moms. It has to be somebody else. But no. Of course, it was Kamir. Because we don't have any ideas. And we don't know how to tell a story properly. And we don't know how to surprise people. Yeah. Now, with that being said, I do think that his performance was really good. I think
it was really good. He killed it, dude. Like, I think the switch up as Kamir to like Darth Teeth, like I don't know, he killed it. Like I totally bought in that he was this menacing figure.
He looks cool. Yeah, he's a little broy for a Sith, to be honest. He's like, yeah, I guess you could call me Sith.
No, he's like the Jedi would consider me a Sith, which to me,
Jedi would consider me Sith.
I have some theory. I have a theory about all of that, but we'll get there.
I was like, maybe Saul knows him because maybe that's his like kid. I don't know, because he's like, if the Jedi knew about me, I couldn't exist. Maybe that means he's Sith. Maybe that means because he's like a child of a Jedi who's not supposed to have sex.
To me, it's a Jedi. Like, I think why he said that in my eyes is that like the Jedi don't want anyone who's like basically not authorized or like using the Force in a destructive way, which I think he's doing. So I think it's just if they found out what he was doing, what his plans were, like I think he would just be like. But you're right, it was his face. So like his face is clearly important for some reason. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I interrupted you or not.
But it was also interesting that May or Osha's sister, May or Osha was like, my mom used to be able to get inside people's minds.
Yeah, it was Osha. Yeah.
And I was like, well, maybe it's the moms. Maybe Kamir is like somebody who was there that day.
Yeah, but like it was all women in that witch like tribe. So like, how could Kamir have been on that? I don't know. How could he even involved from the get-go? I mean, I think that makes sense, but I just don't know how it will make sense.
Don't know.
But yeah, so end of this episode, we get that like May has switched places with Osha after trying to like get her to be on her side. I don't know why she did that. Yeah. And it seems like Basil's going to figure out like as soon as like the next episode starts.
But how does Soul not even go like, hey, I sense something with this Kamir dude, but like I don't sense anything with you?
Yeah, like he would clearly sense that that's May and not Osha. I don't know. In my eyes, right?
And I'm of the opinion that Kamir knows that is Osha.
I could see that, but I could also see
because he was going to kill May.
But he also just only broke her chains. Like he could have killed her, I think he had the opportunity, and I don't think he was going to in the end.
If he doesn't know, then I'll be surprised, or maybe not surprised because this show is really dumb at times. But like he even sensed like in the shop when he first met Osha that like, oh, You're very similar to her. Like, he knew. So, like,
well, yeah, but it was because of her acting. Like I think he realized immediately that wasn't May.
But she has no reason to act at this point. So, like, if next episode he doesn't know right off the bat, I'll be like, yeah, this is dumb storytelling.
Yeah, but what if she like looks at her clothes and just like, oh, he thinks I'm May? You know, could be.
By the way,
switch, but yeah.
We already had like a bit of a, oh my God, who is who sort of like, you know, thing about the story. We're really going back to it again. We're really going back to like, oh, you're the fake sister.
Yeah. But the audience knows this time. So yeah, I don't know. I think so. Then the interesting thing at the very end is that like, you know, Camille goes up to Osha and it's not the dialogue that he's saying. It's more of like, I don't know if it's like that, like exact. I think it's similar. So basically the music that's playing at the end is very similar to like Kylo's like theme in Star Wars. And so the theory going around is that like he isn't a Sith, but he is like the originator of like the Knights of Ren. I don't know how I totally feel about like the Knights of Ren existing that far before like the sequel trilogy, because I always kind of like thought that maybe like Snoke or you know like Palpatine Snoke like created the Knights of Ren, like as kind of like a similarity to like the Inquisitors. But I think if you like introduce some really dope lore and a cool origin for the Knights of Ren this far back, like I could be into it.
I could be into it too. And like, I guess it could kind of make, they wouldn't break lore in a sense, but they still don't have to break lore. And I think if the only reason that I would go against that theory is he already says in his words, I guess you would call me Sith. And so I know,
but I think it's exactly the Jedi like you would consider me a Sith is what he says.
Sure.
Which, to me,
but like to an audience member, to like a lay person, you would say, okay, this is Sith, especially with the fact that he says, I wanted an acolyte. I wanted like somebody to train underneath me, is very like, it's the rule of two thing about it. You know what I mean? So
sure.
It could be. It could also be an excuse for like Star Wars fans to clutch on to like a piece of hope that they're not gonna like have Sith all the way this far back and then have to like do a whole sort of like rethink about how this happens. Because if the Sith does exist this far back, most of these characters have to die. Like Soul's got to die.
Soul's got to die. Likely. Osha, May, Vanestra, but Ki-Adi-Mundi, like. See, that's the thing. Like, he's part of the High Council, and
but he believes. Well, maybe not at that point.
Maybe not yet. Right. But then, like, that's the thing. Is like, I don't know. Yeah, but yeah, there's some plot holes there. Like, because he's a part of the High Council, and they are like, we haven't seen a Sith in 1,000 years. But
by the way, everybody who's like, they broke lore by having Ki-Adi-Mundi in there. Shut the fuck up. It's a part of
it doesn't bother
CD-ROM where they mentioned his name that like whoever the fuck knows bought it back in the day. And by the way, it wasn't even one of the top 2 tiers of Star Wars canon back in the day. It wasn't G level. It wasn't S level. It was like, it was low.
Okay.
Nobody gives a shit.
Yeah.
He can live as long as we fucking want him to, okay?
Right.
Don't care.
Yeah, no, it didn't bother me. Like I don't know much about his age. I mean, I'm sure
that's the only time that anything's been mentioned. His age was that he was 60 in the prequels.
Oh, so I mean, that would break some canon, but
it's not true canon.
You said the prequels though.
It was mentioned in a CD-ROM.
Oh, during the prequels. Okay. Yeah, like who cares then, right? Because like the in Legends, like Qui-Gon Jinn, he died at 60, but I think in the movie he died in his 40s. So like who cares? You know, like that's Legends. I'm good with that not existing.
I like the Knights of Ren theory.
Yeah. It
could be true.
Right.
We'll have to wait and see. Personally, I don't love this show. I don't like this show The only reason I
Like,
watched
this episode
show
helped. It did.
This episode helped, but overall, most of the only reason I'm watching this is because it's Star Wars and I kind of just want to see how it ties into everything else.
Sure.
But they kind of fucked this show up. It didn't even need to be a show. Part of the reason why I hate it so much, besides some of the character arcs and way that they treat the characters, is that it would have been better as a movie. Cutting episode 4 off right before the fight was one of the most disappointing and frustrating things you could have ever done.
Honestly,
after 27 minutes,
it truly felt like that episode was cut for like the sake of let's make more episodes, right? Because like I think the episode titles are just called Day and Night. Like they're not even like, it's not even anything clever.
Oh my God, it's so stupid. It's so boring.
So it could have been a really cool hour-long episode, but they chose, we're good. Let's just cut it in 2 for the sake of 8 episodes. So we are 3 episodes away from an ending, and it doesn't feel like we're in the strongest of spots, but we did just have some of the best lightsaber action in years. So it's a nice plus. It is a nice plus. And it's nice to know that Daphne Keane wasn't BSing, that she really, I don't think it rivals episode 1's fight, but it's like, it's good. It's really good. So
it is good.
Yeah. Yeah. But there's some huge plot holes. Yeah. So hopefully it gets better, but I do not have my hopes up. So, but I think that is.
I haven't had my hopes up since it started.
Well, hey, we liked the first 2 episodes for the most part.
Yeah, but I was still like, we'll see, because this is what fucking happens every goddamn time.
I know.